Black Ops 6 has gone insane. We finally have some new information about Black Ops 6 Season 3 Reloaded. They just released the blog and we're gonna go over all the details, including some really good news and also some potentially concerning stuff. So yeah, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. The mystery deepens. So right off the bat, we do have some lore behind this entire season. It says the global search for the Pantheon moles accelerates as operators revisit new territories, revealed in the video Hudson recorded before his death. I don't think this has anything to do with Hudson's death. There's got to be some new Easter eggs on Blaze Town, I swear. I'm not sure if that video had anything to do with the lore behind this season, but hopefully we can find some more info on that. But yeah, Black Ops 6 Season 3 Reloaded starts on Thursday, May 1st at 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 p.m. Eastern across all platforms. We're going to be getting 2 brand new 6v6 multiplayer maps, starting off here with Stonehaven minus the stone. Again, it's brand new core 6v6 medium-sized map. We saw this in the first blog post about Season 3. And at this point, Call of Duty did share a video, which gives us a little bit more of an overview. We get to see a video of the map versus just pictures. But again, we won't really know how good or bad this map is until we can actually play it. So we'll find out on Thursday if it's any good. Same thing with the brand new map Signal, which again, it's a strike map, so you can play it in 6v6 or 2v2, and this one's being labeled as a small size map. And weirdly enough, even though it's not mentioned in this section of the blog, there is going to be a variant of Nuketown coming to the game called Blaze Town, which Call of Duty already teased and showed off in that video. And I'm pretty sure they teased this LTM in the previous blog, but just to recap, there's going to be an LTM called Joint Operations coming to multiplayer. They're describing it as a gauntlet that challenges players across a series of multiplayer mode variants, including TDM, Domination, Hardpoint, Kill Order, and Kill Confirmed. Throughout the match, there's going to be different modifiers that affect everyone in the game, including a 420 score bonus, third-person mode, visual impairment, double health, hardcore, paranoia sounds, low gravity, double jump, and increased movement speed, which honestly sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like one of those LTMs that you might check out a couple times to have some fun, but I don't think anyone's gonna take this one too seriously. And it says battle in 6v6 across all 5 modes. Their order is randomized at the start of each match. Compete for 2 minutes in each mode, ending when one team reaches the score limit or at the conclusion of all 5 modes. The team with the most points wins the game. And lastly, for multiplayer exclusive content for Season 3 Reloaded, there's gonna be a new perk getting added to the game called Vendetta. It's in perk slot 2. It's a blue recon perk, and the perk can be unlocked in the Blaze of Glory event as a reward. The description for the perk says, on respawn, mark your killer's last known position for a short duration. Get a bonus score for eliminating that enemy. The Vigilance perk counters being marked by Vendetta. And as you can see, Treyarch has shared the screenshot right here, and this is a pretty obvious and very noticeable indicator of where your killer's last known location was, so this could be a pretty powerful perk. However, it can be hard countered by Vigilance, which typically does get run a lot when people are running full blue perks, so just be mindful of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for multiplayer exclusive content for Season 3 Reloaded. Honestly, it's really not a ton of content, but as we keep going through the blog and later in this video, you're gonna see that there is a lot of other general content that comes to all 3 modes, so it's not gonna be just that. But next up, let's talk about the new stuff that's coming to Zombies with Season 3 Reloaded. As just a quick overview for Zombies, there's going to be a Zombie Snacks LTM. They're going to be bringing back the Frost Blast field upgrade, and then Directed Mode is going to be getting released for Shattered Veil as well. So if you want that exclusive calling card for beating the Shattered Veil Easter egg before Directed Mode comes out, you might want to try to get that knocked out either today or tomorrow, because there's not going to be a lot of time.
And yes, this is a reminder for me to do it as well.
Now, when it comes to details about this Zombie Snacks LTM, it's honestly kind of confusing. There's a ton of info here, but basically you can play this LTM on all 5 of the available maps right now. However, your health bar is replaced with an energy meter, which depletes when taking damage or moving, and the energy meter does not passively recharge. For that, you need food. They're saying in standard mode, your energy depletes when moving or taking damage. Jumping, mantling, sliding, and diving all deplete energy on use as well, and in directed mode, your energy only depletes when you take damage. You can replenish your energy by eating snacks, which will give you 50 energy back. Drinking perks will give you 150, and chewing gobblegums will give you 50 energy. And they're saying other health-based features will also refill energy, such as the stim shot, which will give you 50 energy back. Light mends will give you 5 per glyph, 10 if you have the extra strength augment, which I would imagine is pretty useful in this LTM. And getting Juggernog will increase your overall total energy bar. Now, when it comes to food items, it says eat food to partially replenish your energy meter, dropped by downed enemies and found throughout the map. Specials, elites, and HVTs are guaranteed to drop these 3 snack items. There's going to be a refrigerator power-up. It says when activated, all eliminated zombies will drop food items for a short period of time. Then there's also flow mode. It says eliminate 10 zombies without taking damage to enter a flow state. Operators in the flow inflict plenty of extra damage and gain special boosts, such as improved handling and movement. Take any damage and the flow state is lost. We suggest you turn up your music for this one, okay? So they're gonna have some custom tunes, some custom music. Sounds pretty cool. And it says earn Gobblegum rewards upon the first completion of the main quest in standard or directed mode on any map. So it looks like in this LTM, LTM, you can challenge yourself and also try to complete the Easter eggs on the different maps. And if you do it in Directed, you'll get a custom collection of 4 Gobblegums per map. Each contains a high rarity Gobblegum and 3 Gobblegums of other rarities. And you also get 15,000 XP per map for a total of 75k XP. But if you do this in standard mode, you'll get 6 Gobblegums per map. Again, it'll be 1 high rarity Gobblegum, 5 Gobblegums of other rarities, and again, the same kinds of XP gains per map. Honestly, this LTM on paper sounds kind of confusing, but I feel like once you're actually in a game and you get a chance to play the LTM, it might not be that bad. But I do think it's pretty cool that Treyarch is adding these different LTMs to zombies and trying to spice up the gameplay and give the zombies community more stuff to do. And on top of that as well, they are bringing back the Frost Blast field upgrade for Black Ops 6 Zombies. You can unlock the Frost Blast field upgrade as part of the Blaze of Glory event. It's going to be one of the rewards, but I'm pretty sure the info about the major and minor augments is brand new, so let's go over that. Frost Blast is going to have 3 different major augments. The first is Ice Slick. Enemies within the blizzard may be knocked down. Frostcast says the blizzard moves forward when activated, and Flash Freeze says normal enemies within the blizzard will be frozen solid and are killed when damaged. And then if we look at the minor augments, Extension says it will significantly increase the blizzard duration. Frostbite will increase damage to frozen enemies, and then Extra Charge will allow you to store an extra charge of Frost Blast. Just based off of those descriptions, it's kind of hard to tell if Frost Blast will actually be worth using or not because Aether Shroud pretty much gets used the most. But yeah, hopefully Frost Blast won't be completely useless. And as expected for Season 3 Reloaded, Shattered Veil is going to be getting Directed mode, which is going to make it way easier for the casual players to complete the Easter egg. As expected, there's going to be a round cap of 15, and the game is basically going to tell you exactly how to do the Easter egg. You can just follow all the different steps in the game. But strangely enough, in the blog, they're not mentioning the rewards that you'll get for completing the Easter egg on Directed mode, but I'm pretty sure they will give you some rewards. They're just not going to be the same as the standard Easter egg rewards. And lastly, for Zombies, the Ray Gun Mark II is going to be available on all maps. It says right here that Treyarch is adding the base version of the Ray Gun Mark II to the mystery box on all existing Zombies maps, which is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure you can only get the different variants of the Ray Gun Mark II on Shattered Veil, but still, it's a pretty neat addition to the other maps. But that's pretty much it for Black Ops 6 Zombies. Now we're going to be moving on to Warzone Season 3 Reloaded content. We are going to see some slight map changes to Verdansk. They're going to be reopening the train station, and the moving train is going to be getting added back to Verdansk. They're also saying here, engage with other fan favorite Battle Royale features coming in the mid-season, which might not be immediately at the launch, but they are going to be adding high-value loot zones. It says, be a risk taker and search for powerful gear in high-value loot zones. Be ready to engage enemy squads eager to compete for the quality loot on hand. And they're also adding more contracts to Verdansk. It says, track down and eliminate the operator with the highest number of eliminations when picking up the Big Game Bounty contract. So Big Game Bounty's coming back. And it says, if you're looking for a ride, get on board and hold your position with the Train Recon contract. And as you can see here, the dirt bike that's available on Rejack Island is going to be getting added to Verdansk as well. And this is some big news if you're someone who wants to play ranked play on Verdansk, because for the first time in Call of Duty Warzone history, Verdansk will be featured in BR ranked play. And BR ranked play on Verdansk is going to be trios, and there's going to be 49 other teams. So even in ranked play, Verdansk is still going to be 150 players. And here's the Season 3 rewards for Warzone ranked play. If you get 100 eliminations, you'll get a weapon camo, which I think is universal for any gun. So honestly, that's a really cool reward right there. You'll also get a weapon blueprint at 250 eliminations. You get a weapon charm if you get 1 win, and you get a sticker for 25 elims. And of course, you have different emblems and sprays that you get depending on your placement at the end of the season. And lastly, Verdansk is going to be getting 2 LTMs in the season as well. They're going to be adding High Trip Resurgence. It says, smoke the competition and power up in the High Trip Resurgence LTM coming to Verdansk. Operators will deploy with one of several predetermined weapons and their fists. To improve your odds, seek out shades found in supply caches, giving the operator various boosts, including faster reloads, super speed, and no fall damage, which does sound pretty fun, and it should speed up the gameplay even more on Verdansk, which should be pretty cool. And they're also going to be adding Massive Resurgence. It says, up the competition with support for 120 operators on Verdansk Resurgence. Stay alive to redeploy fallen squad mates and be ready to engage enemies with greater frequency in the last squad standing battle. So yeah, it's pretty interesting that both LTMs coming to Verdansk are both going to be Resurgence. It would be interesting to see if they'd bring back like Juggernaut Royale or do some other types of LTMs that aren't just Resurgence on Verdansk at some point, but it does look like we'll have to wait until Season 4 or later to get something like that. And just in case you guys were curious about the future of Rejack Islands, or even the potential of Battle Royale Casual either being removed or staying in the game, they did say here, expect continued support for Rejack Island Resurgence and the BR Casual mode on Verdansk, introduced at the start of Season 3. So yeah, that is some really good news for those who still want to play Rejack Island or BR Casual moving forward with Season 3 Reloaded. But ladies and gentlemen, this is the big one. This is the overall general content that's coming to multiplayer zombies and Warzone. Okay, this has to be a typo because when it comes to new weapons, it says wields the blistering fast Ladra LMG. arriving as an event reward in the mid-season update, but as we know, the Ladra is actually a submachine gun. It's an SMG, and it's going to be a high art event reward. And when we first got the Season 3 blog, I thought this was like the Caparis SMG from Black Ops 1, but it turns out it's most likely the Spectre from Black Ops 1 coming back into Black Ops 6. It's going to have 37 levels, 4 mags, a mag size of 38, which is pretty big right off the bat. You can get mastery badges and all kinds of different attachments for it as well. It's described as a full auto SMG, extreme rate of fire, excellent range, and low recoil. Headshots can help offset lower base damage. Combining a high fire rate with excellent range and low recoil, the Ladra SMG can compete with the best even out to the mid-range. More shots are needed due to the weapon's lower base damage, so consider an extended mag, scavenger, or the assault pack to keep your ammo stocked through even the thickest of fights. Now, based off of that description alone, it kind of sounds similar to the compact, which is absolutely insane in close quarters gunfights, so I'm curious to see how the Ladra is going to fit in the SMG category. But as far as we know, that's the only new weapon that's coming as part of Season 3 Reloaded, and there is going to be one special weapon attachment, one aftermarket part, if you will, and it's going to be the mini rocket conversion kit for the Goblin. This is also going to be a high art event reward, and it says it converts the Goblin MK2 into a full auto weapon with explosive rocket ammo. Splash damage capabilities come at the expense of bullet velocity and rate of fire, and it equips a new default barrel and magazine, and it blocks barrel, muzzle, and magazine attachments to the Goblin. So yeah, we're going to be getting a Goblin rocket launcher as part of Season 3 Reloaded, and I'm really hoping that this is one of those aftermarket parts or special weapon attachments that's just fun to use and isn't completely horrible or useless. It does sound like it could be a lot of fun, but if the thing is just too weak or if it's very niche, then it's not going to see a lot of use, and I'm really hoping that's not the case. We need more fun stuff getting added to the game. Which, speaking of which, let's talk about the Season 3 Reloaded events, because as you can see here, you might be noticing a familiar face as part of this event. That's right, guys. Motherfucking Seth Rogen is getting added to Black Ops 6. I can't do a Seth Rogen laugh. I tried. There's going to be 2 different events coming to Season 3 Reloaded. We're going to have High Art, which is available in multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone, and it's going to be starting on May 1st, which is the start of Season 3 Reloaded, and it's going to last for 2 weeks until the 15th. And we're also going to be getting an event called Blaze of Glory for all 3 modes. It's going to be starting on May 6th, and it's also going to last until the 15th. Now, for the High Art event, there's going to be another event pass. I know some people are not huge on this, but honestly, you don't have to buy the premium track if you don't want to, but typically in Black Ops 6, these event passes have actually been pretty good considering the price, which is usually $10 for all the stuff in the premium track. But as you can see here in the free track, we have some kind of pointless rewards like the sticker, the charm, and the spray, as well as the Seth Rogen emblem. But at the same time, this is where you can also find the new Ladra SMG, as well as the mini rocket conversion kit for the Goblin. And then the final reward is an operator skin called Casual Ops. And if you look at the premium track, honestly, I feel like people would mostly be buying this premium track to get the Seth Rogen operator skin. There is a finishing move and an emote as well, which could be pretty funny, but everything else is just not super worth it. But yeah, ultimately it's up to you if you want to get the premium track or just stick with the free one. And even though it's not really being mentioned in the blog, I'm pretty sure this is going to work like previous events where you simply just have to earn XP in order to rank up the event pass and ultimately get all the different rewards. And if we take a look at the Blaze of Glory event, it might work a little bit differently, but I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy either. It says collect Blaze bucks dropped by eliminated enemies and found in supply caches in Call of Duty Warzone. Redeem your bucks for rewards including the new Vendetta perk, the Frost Blast field upgrade, and the highly decorated weapon camo with an additional variant for Season 3 Black Cell owners. So yeah, they're kind of just sticking with this very safe and basic version of events where you just have to either grind XP or basically play a mini game of Kill Confirmed depending on what you're doing, unless of course you're playing Warzone. You know, you could just open up supply caches and get the Blaze bucks that way. But I've said it before and I'll say it again, I just really feel like these types of events are not as engaging or rewarding. I know it's just my opinion, but I really do prefer some of the events we had last year with Modern Warfare 3, where you had to complete specific challenges with different things, whether it was getting kills with lethal equipment or using certain guns or different attachments. They challenged us in different and unique ways, and honestly, I feel like at times we got better rewards, like getting universal weapon camos, which I think they might be doing here. But at this point, these XP events and these Kill Confirmed little mini events, they are definitely not as engaging, and it's kind of just passive stuff that happens in the background, and you get to collect rewards once you finally get that stuff done, which I think for some players is fine. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they shouldn't do events like this, but it would just be nice to sprinkle in some more engaging events here and there. And lastly, for Season 3 Reloaded, they are teasing some of the new bundles coming to the store as well, including Tracer Pack Seaboard Mastercraft Ultra Skin. Oh, look, a bespeckled cephalopod. Yo, they put Mr. Smuggy Puss on the sniper though. That was actually kind of sick. It's kind of giving me some Pirates of the Caribbean vibes. I have no idea what this has to do with Black Ops 6, but okay, but if you're a Zombies fan, you're gonna be all over this one. They're adding Tracer Pack, Peak Performance. They're adding Mr. Peaks into the game. They knew exactly what they were doing with this skin. I'm pretty sure everyone who loves zombies is gonna be buying this bundle. They're also gonna be adding Tracer Pack, Charm and Harm Reactive Ultra Skin. I'm not too sure about the theming on this. Like, I don't know if they're supposed to be like superheroes or witches or something, but this is a bundle that's gonna be getting added as well. We also have another Tracer Pack coming to the game called Dulce Catastrophe.
I definitely pronounced that right.
We basically have a Cinco de Mayo Pinata type of blueprints here, nothing too crazy. And then for the COD Endowment, they're going to be doing a Military Appreciation Month presented by USAA. And honestly, I like these ghillie suit skins, but I wish there was a way to turn off these glowing effects. Like, if this wasn't a thing, I think I would actually like these skins even more. But since the blog says upgrade to Black Ops 6 today, that means we have reached the end of the blog, which means time for me to share my thoughts and opinions on Black Ops 6 Season 3 Reloaded. I gotta be honest, man, it really doesn't seem like we're getting a lot of content to hold us over for the next month or so until we eventually get Season 4. And especially on the multiplayer side of things, it feels like we're getting a little shorthanded. Like, yes, the maps should be fine. We're getting 2 brand new maps as well as a variant of Nuketown, which is kind of whatever. Like, that doesn't really matter. But where I feel like things are getting pretty lackluster is actually in the weapons department. We're only getting 1 new weapon, which technically is like a remastered weapon. They're just bringing back the Spectre from Black Ops 1, which is pretty cool. And come to think of it, I don't think this gun has ever been brought back in another Call of Duty game since Black Ops 1. So that is pretty neat. But at the same time, it is just 1 new weapon, and we're also going to have that conversion kit for the Goblin. So really, it's kind of like having 2 weapons to hold us over for the next month until Season 4. And really, I feel like the reason why this bothers me more than it probably should is because last year around this time, this is pretty much the time when Sledgehammer Games really had everything figured out in terms of post-launch content. And around this time last year with Modern Warfare 3, every single week we were grinding for new aftermarket parts every single week on Wednesday to unlock something that was brand new and really cool and useful. At least more often than not. Like, some of the aftermarket parts weren't as good as others, but still, man, every single week we were logging onto multiplayer and we had something new to look forward to. And it's just frustrating because I actually like Black Ops 6's multiplayer, but it just doesn't feel as alive as Modern Warfare 3's last year because the post-launch content and the live service content is just not as good. I'm sorry for the little rant, but it just kind of feels like Treyarch is lagging behind, and I would have thought by this point in time they would have maybe tried to do a little bit more with the seasons going forward, and I don't know, it just kind of feels like every season is kind of doing the same thing in terms of the amount of content and the things we can expect, whereas like last year with Modern Warfare 3, Sledgehammer was progressively making the seasons better and better as time was going on. But that's enough of my little multiplayer rant. As far as it goes for zombies, the content seems okay. I'm not exactly sure how the zombies community is going to feel about it, but I do think it's nice that Vale is going to have directed mode for the more casual players, and it really does seem like Warzone is definitely continuing to get some really good support. I said this before Season 3 even came out, and I'll say it again, but Season 3 has definitely been the season of Warzone, especially with the return of Verdansk. If anything, it's actually been dominating all of the attention and all the stuff that's been going on, which ironically is what happens back then in 2020 when it first got released as well. Verdansk was taking all the attention away from multiplayer, and it feels like we're kind of seeing that happen again in a way. But for me personally, I've actually been playing more Warzone Battle Royale casual Verdansk than Black Ops 6's multiplayer. I'm actually just having more fun over there. I'm casually going for and grinding for Abyss, and I'm streaming that pretty regularly at this point. And since the blog explicitly states that they're not removing it and they're actually going to be continuing support for BR Casual, I'm totally happy with that. But with that being said, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me cover the latest news on Season 3 Reloaded for Black Ops 6. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see all of this new content when it gets released, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys later.
Outcome. Train going.